What's up, Big Lawrence Network? Now, look, I was offshore before I was driving trucks, so I'm gonna tell y'all, I would rather be a truck driver than to go offshore. Now, don't get me wrong. The number one reason why I didn't really like offshore, you can't control who you go out there with. You know what I mean? If you're on a small boat like I was, you could be on a tugboat with it's a full man to a boat. It's two deckhands. I was a deckhand. I was getting 175 a day, and you got to work for these small mom and pops in order to, get your 1 year experience so you could go to the big companies and make the big money. You know what I mean? And do deckhand work and start out at $250 a day, and they could go up to I didn't see some guys get close to 500 a day, but you got to be on a bigger boats. So long story short, you don't control who you're out there with. I was working for a small company out of New Liberia, Louisiana, and the other deckhand that was out there with me, this guy didn't get no sleep. We was doing 12-hour shifts, So for my 12-hour shift, I'm working. You got to make sure and maintain the engine. You got to clean up, and when it's time for me to sleep for my 12 hours, I go in the room. You don't see me, and the only way you'll see me if I come out and use the restroom or something like that. But the guy who I was out there with, when I was working my 12-hour shifts, he was sitting in the living room, so he never really got no sleep. So that's another thing. And then a lot of times those guys be just getting out of prison. And nothing worse than being on a boat for 28 days with a bunch of guys that just got out of prison and all they want to talk about is jailhouse. So that's number one. Driving a truck, man, I mean, you the captain of your own ship. You the commander in chief. You ain't got to worry about no other personalities. You ain't on a, you know what I'm saying? You on a truck by yourself, and you can have a peace of mind. So yeah, that's the difference, man. You can have a peace of mind, and the thing is, you can make some money going offshore. Especially if you're a captain and you get your hours. Doing deckhand work is so many hours you got to be on that water before you can, go into the apprenticeship program to the wheelhouse and start driving those tugboats. Those guys, that's where the money at. Those guys get up to, 700s. I didn't see some guys get like $1,000 a day driving those tugboats. You know what I mean? Especially for the big companies. So, but it's nothing compared to working by yourself and not having to deal with those other people. That's why I got my CDLs and started driving trucks. You get a whole peace of mind. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. You got to consider. You're gonna be out there, especially for the small mom and pop shop. You're gonna be working with a lot of jailbirds. So and that's the only thing. And don't get me wrong, I had times where I went out there with some civilized folks, and we had a good hitch. But that's the thing. You never know who you're gonna go out there with. You know what I mean, for your 28 hitch. So that's the thing. But driving a truck trumps over going offshore any day. Working by yourself trumps over working with people any day. And I'm Big Lawrence. I'm out. One.